Hello, Sagittarius. This is your reading for the week of January 25th, or when it resonates. Could be now, we don't know. And of course, it won't be for every Sagittarian. The first thing that happened when I started working with your energy was I felt like I wanted to go like this and then chant. And I feel like I was literally chanting right through the center of my fingers. Now, I don't think it is literal that I have to be chanting through the center of my fingers. What I feel as though, as I'm looking at this and asking for guidance on this, it's two sides coming together and you are meant to be in the middle way. Okay? So this is interesting because, of course, we're talking about layers of reality. So what they're starting to speak about specifically is the nature of surrender and giving up in relation to this sense of needing to kind of chant your way down through the middle line of whatever's going on for you. And that's the first thing. The first thing is chanting for you, and vibrations through your body are going to be extremely helpful and beneficial for you being able to maintain more of a central line, as the Tao would say, the middle way. The central line, think of it as this, think of it as the core of your being that is guided by divine energy, that is full of divine energy, that's resonating through you, that sometimes gets blocked and encapsulated because of old wounds, because of old energy that is contrary to it. It can get in the way of you being able to express it and experience it. So the wonderful thing about chanting, using frequency, using sound and music, not specifically music we associate with sacred or holy music, but music, frequency, vibration through your body, is part of what allows you to get in touch with that line of energy, that central line, that higher consciousness, that higher frequency, that observer mode, and to chant with that, allowing it to move through your body. What it does is it not only stabilizes you and contains you in a kind of energy that is very, I will say, protective, because it's protective in the fact that it is a higher frequency, and therefore lower frequencies are not going to break it. They're not going to align with it. So what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to use that three ways. One, as a focus to remember that you are more than what is going on, that your consciousness is greater than the personality that is experiencing what's happening. And it is also allowing you to literally change the energetic frequency and vibration in your body in a way that is healthful and beneficial, and is going to help you be able to surrender into what is going on, while at the same time being powerful and productive to resolve things in a way that are all around beneficial. That sounds pretty good. So now they want to give a little bit more specific information about the nature of surrender in this case, and what that looks like. So as the card speaks, I'm going to start by reading the card to you. Surrender or giving up. Surrender is an active state in which we remain engaged in the awareness of the situation. It's a softening into the reality as is, not resisting what is. It's allowing that it might change without being attached to the possibility that it will. Giving up is the equivalent of saying, I'm done, it's over. It takes you out of the flow of circumstances. Giving up is not neutral. Giving up, there are usually signs, some pretty strong emotions behind it, and often contains a lot of resistance. So that's what the idea of surrender is wonderful about, is that if you look at it just in terms of any kind of situation that you're dealing with. I'm thinking back to one in particular in my life where there were ongoing conflicts around resolving this big situation that involved many different people. whenever I would go into, I can't believe that she left it until the last minute and my entire thing depends on her answering this on time. Like, for example, I can't believe that. Well, okay, you know what? Believe it. You don't need to know why. You don't need to know why at this point. All you need to know, Lynn, is how to resolve it. So what's your next step? This is the way she is. Now, I'm going to get out of resistance, because as long as I'm in resistance about her doing that, what that does to me is it just creates more agitation. Now, in that state, I'm not open, right? I'm not open to intuition. I'm not open to receiving. And I'm using up a lot of energy in that state of irritation. Okay? So surrender would be, I don't like it. Fine. And it is the way it is. And it makes me sad and it makes me confused and I don't understand why. And is there a part in that? But you know what? I don't need to answer any of those questions in order to be able to make choices about what I feel right is now. Because when I am in a surrendered state, surrendered to the fact that this is the reality and I'm not fighting it, I know what I want to do next. I know what's right in my heart. Okay? And it might be to do nothing. It might be just to let things evolve, or it might be to take a step, to make a phone call, we don't know. But the point is, in that state of surrender, you are also open. You're not in resistance, you're not in conflict. You're still engaged in the situation, but you're engaged in it from a different place. So what you're also being told in this is one of the things that can allow you to surrender when you get into over questioning is forgiveness. And the forgiveness, again, it's really about understanding that you can name the offense, you can name whatever it is you think was wrong, and then you can decide that it's not worth it. For today, just accept that whatever you think about the situation that's creating resistance for you might not be relevant. It might not be true. There might be more going on there that you don't know about. It's relevant in terms of being able to get you into surrender. That's what this is about, okay? And you're being asked, again, as a way to work with that and stay in that surrendered state, remembering that the surrendered state is where you're going to get the best guidance and be the calmest and the most empowered, okay? You're being asked to breathe. Notice and breathe regularly. Start using your breath, Sag, please, as a way to stay in that state of non-resistance. Use your breath to move you into that place of surrender. Use your breath to get you into that idea of, okay, there may be more going on. What do I need to know in order to be able to get out of resistance and do what I need to do or not do something? Okay? And the other thing you're being asked to do is you will be given by the angels, and I'm getting this really specifically, you will be getting positive emotions and imprints and impulses. When you notice yourself stepping aside from that to go back into resistance, wondering, worrying, just notice it. Name it. And then just say, oh, look, there it is. There's that resistance again. And then take 3 full deep breaths. Again, the breathing, and see how that wants to change. This is a way of you actively working with whatever negative emotion comes up. So I'm going to read it to you specifically, because if you do this, it will help you. Today, every time you feel an emotion, joy, sadness, fear, anger, impatience, jealousy, etc., your job is to name it. Oh, look, there's joy. Then take 3 full and deep breaths. Make them slow on the inhale and sigh on the exhale. And notice how the feeling changes when you distance yourself from the feeling with identifying it and calming yourself with breath. Okay? This is so important. You've got surrender, forgiveness, breathe, notice and name and breathe. That is it for you, my very dear Sagittarians. This is really good for you because some of you have been dealing with a lot of things for quite a long time. And this is your way of kind of breaking the stranglehold of that the frustration and the agitation and the confusion about it has had on you from being able to really move forward. Now, I know many of you have been working on aspects of this, so I feel like this is Spirit saying, okay, now here are some really tangible things you can apply to help you with this and move even further into that self-liberation. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that, my very dear Sagittarius, and you take care.